Hello, world. Welcome back to Not Just Candle Talk, the podcast where talk meets real strategy for real entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Tony, and today we're diving into something that every entrepreneur thinks they understand, but mostly only scratch the surface of. Whether you're running a candle brand, a coaching business, or building something from scratch while working your 9 to 5, this episode is for you. We're getting into the power of purpose, not just as a fluffy concept, but as a real revenue-driven clarity building force behind every successful business. Let's be honest, the word purpose gets tossed around like glitter on Instagram quotes. But here's what it really means in entrepreneurship. Purpose is the reason your business exists beyond money. It's the why behind your brand, your grind, your sleepless nights. It's what separates burnout from breakthrough. If you have ever said these things, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. This isn't fun like it used to be. Why am I even doing this? That's a purpose crisis. And it hits hard when you're only chasing money with no mission. Purpose gives you emotional equity in your business. It fuels consistency. It magnetizes your audience. And in 2025, where authenticity sells, people aren't just buying what you do. They're buying why you do it. Now let's get savvy. You might be thinking, that sounds cute, but I need cash flow. Here's the truth. Purpose is profitable. And here's how. It clarifies your messaging. When you know your why, your content hits harder. People resonate with it, not just your product. It attracts the right clients and repels the wrong ones. Purpose acts like a filter. It knows you're aligned and your community is loyal. It helps you pivot without panic because markets change. The analog it shifts, but your why, it keeps you rooted through chaos. Let's take an example. Let's take one example. A woman starting a soy candle business to help people with anxiety after losing her mother. That purpose anchored her when sales dipped. It gave her a mission. She started hosting healing through scents. She started a workshop and added affirmations to every product. Now her business isn't just surviving, it's leading a movement. So what if you're not sure what your purpose is? Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. What problem do I feel called to solve? Not just what's trending, but what matters to you. Number 2, what do I feel most connected to serving? Think about the people you've helped even if you weren't getting paid. Number 3, what legacy do I want my brand to leave? Your business is your message to the world. What do you want to say? But understand, your purpose evolves. What drives you today may shift, and that's okay. The key is to stay curious and to check in with yourself often. I think I've said this before in other episodes. What you started doing in the beginning, it will over time shift, right? And when it shifts, this is your subconscious saying, okay, what is the purpose? What are we doing this for? So it happens, right? It's a real thing if you've been in business for a couple of years. But you don't need a perfect mission statement, right? You need a clear heartbeat behind your hustle. Okay, you got to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, right? Now, don't confuse purpose with vibes alone. You need strategy. Purpose gives you fuel. Purpose gives you direction. Together with those two, that's power. Okay? So ask yourself, is my business model aligned with my purpose? Are my offerings solving problems I care about? Is my content reflective of what I believe in? Your brand isn't just candles, coaching, digital products. It's a movement. And movements are built on meaning. Okay? So a business without purpose is just a job created for yourself. But a business with purpose, that's legacy. That's impact. That's also the absolute freedom. So this week, I want you to do a little project, if you will. Grab a notebook and write down your why statement. Then check, does your website reflect this? Do your social posts reflect it? Does your audience feel it? If not, now's the time to realign. Because when your purpose meets the right strategy, profit always follows. Okay? Let me say that again. When your purpose meets the right strategy, profit always follows. I just wanted to touch on this real quick with this episode because alignment and purpose, they are, connected, of course. And it's important, especially now, to really sit with yourself and understand what it is what you're trying to convey. If it's not clear, if you're there, fine, that's awesome, because you can feel it and you don't wake up with the burnout feeling all the time. That's great. But if you do start to feel these things, always go back to the why, go back to the beginning of what fueled the fire in the first place, right? And sometimes, like I said, even I've done episodes in the past about even starting something as a hobby. Think about it like that. Like that hobby, you was doing it without profit. You was doing it because that was you. It came from the love of that hobby, and it turned into something that could generate that purpose-driven thinking again if you lose it. So I wanted to touch on this because I'm a true believer in where I'm at right now in my business. I understand my purpose in a lot of things that I do professionally and business wise. So I just wanted to touch on this real quick and share it. So if this episode hits home, share it with someone who's feeling lost in the grind. And if you would tag us on Instagram, not just Candle Talk, and let the world know you're building more than a business. You're building a purpose-driven brand, and you heard it. You heard it from not just Candle Talk. So I just wanted to hit on it real quick. And until next time, keep the fire lit and never forget why you started. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.